Alright everybody, we're going to play a little word game. I'm going to say a word. When I say this, you got to tell me the first word that pops into your head. Subject matter it's going to be pertaining to is Hollywood, as in Hollywood actors or actresses. So, are you ready? The word is going to be Phoenix. Alright everybody, I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to take a guess at what the first word that popped into your mind was when I said that. And I'm going to say a majority of you said the name Joaquin, as in Joaquin Phoenix, the amazing, brilliant actor who has so many roles accredited to him. He's brilliant. He's a genius. Now, had you asked that same question, played this same game with people from the year 1986 to 1993, I guarantee almost everybody's answer would have been River, as in River Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix's older brother. So now you probably have a question for me. And the question is probably why? Why do you think the answer that would pop into people's head is different now than it was before? Well, here's the reason. It was late October 1993 when something tragic happened. This tragedy would change Hollywood forever, and it would change the course of people's mentality when this word game is played. That is the reason the answer would be different. And I'm going to tell you what happened and why. So the Phoenix family was pretty large. You had River, you had Joaquin, and they had 3 sisters. So they were born in Oregon. River was born in 1970, and pretty much all the kids were born in the 70s except their older sister, Jodine, who was actually their half-sister. But they ended up moving out to Venezuela when River was 3, and they lived at this place. It was a church, but they would later come out and say it was more of a cult. He lived there for 4 years, and in 1977 they finally left and moved back to the States, and they went to California. So the Phoenix family was not very rich, they weren't well off, they didn't have a lot of money when they moved out to California from Venezuela. But, and it's one of those feel-good stories, like meant to be stories, the 4 children, Joaquin and River and their 2 sisters, Summer and Rain, were singing at a park in West Hollywood. When this talent director spotted them, she said she was so astounded by what she saw, she immediately wanted to represent all 4 children. So it was River that started to represent the family first. He started doing commercials. He was doing commercials for Mitsubishi, he was doing commercials for Ocean Spray, and he was doing them for Saks Fifth Avenue. He was making a mark for himself early. But him and the rest of the children, his siblings, would end up getting signed by Paramount Pictures and casting director Penny Marshall. So the time frame, from 1980 to 1983, River was putting himself out there. He was still doing commercials, TV shows, after-school specials. Anything he could get in and get hired for, he was taking it, and he was doing it well. It was 1984. When 1984 rolled around, he got a star, his first major motion picture role. He got to star alongside Ethan Hawke and Joe Dante's Explorers. So for me, even though River got his big role in Explorers in 1984, he released 2 movies in 1986. For me, it's his greatest movie, period, because of the significance it had on pop culture. And that would be Stand By Me. Stand By Me was released in 1986. He also released a movie called Mosquito Coast. Now the thing is, he said, because Mosquito Coast came out to very not so good reviews, he said he was so confused because he felt like that was one of his best performances. But Stand By Me did have great reviews, and to this day is a classic, an absolute classic. So then 1988 rolls around. 1988 is the best year, by the way. That's the year I was born. He gets to star alongside Sidney Poitier in a movie called Little Nikita. Then he stars in a movie called Running on Empty. Now, Running on Empty got him huge reviews. It was a great success. He was the 6th youngest person that year at the Academy Awards to be nominated. He ended up losing the award to Kevin Kline, but 1988 was definitely a good year for River Phoenix. So 1989, River gets to go once again work alongside Harrison Ford. He had worked alongside him in Mosquito Coast, and he gets to do it again in Steven Spielberg's Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. This was the 3rd installment in the Indiana Jones series. So this was a huge hit at the box office. All of the Indiana Jones movies were. But he gets to be in this one. He plays a young Indiana Jones in the prologue. Just another home run for River Phoenix. So now he gets to work alongside Kevin Kline in 1990 in a movie called I Love You to Death. Kevin Kline is the man who beat him out at the Academy Awards when River was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in Running on Empty. Now he was also working alongside Tracy Ullman and Keanu Reeves He actually had met Keanu Reeves the year before in 1989 because Reeves was working with his brother Joaquin in a movie called Parenthood. And another fun fact, he actually auditioned to be Bill in the movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This ended up going to Alex Winter, but he actually auditioned for it. He could have been Bill. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I could imagine that because Keanu and Alex did such a great job and that movie's iconic in its own way. So to imagine River as Bill, I don't see it. And that's no disrespect to River because he's a great actor, but could you imagine him playing Bill? 1991 comes and he gets to star alongside Lily Taylor in a movie called Dogfight. I'm not going to spoil it if you've never seen it, but I'll be honest with you. I know all of River's movies, his big movies that he's known for. I'm talking about Stand By Me and the one I'm about to speak up next. But I went and watched this movie. It's a great movie. It's a very good movie. Dogfight, 1991. If you've never seen it, go watch it. It's got my support. So if you don't like it, you can come back and comment on the channel. But this movie apparently caused him a lot of discomfort because the type of mentality he was. They describe River, and even River describes himself as a hippie style mindset. So he was playing a U.S. Marine in this movie. So he said it was awkward, but he said it was kind of cool to get in the psyche of being that character. So Dogfight 1991. Go and watch it if you've never seen it. So also in 1991, he would reunite with Keanu Reeves for a Gus Van Sant film called My Own Private Idaho. This movie was amazing as well. Another one, and another one. Again, like I said, another home run. The thing about this movie was he garnered a lot of great reviews. Newsweek said this is one of River's best performances ever, and I will not disagree with that. But it wasn't just that. He got so many awards from independent and indie film festivals. They loved the film. The audience loved it. It was just a fantastically made film, and his performance was great. But a decision was made in River's life that he made that would be a very life-altering one. He started smoking marijuana, and worst of all, this is when he started dabbling in cocaine and heroin. So in 1992, he got to team up with Hollywood greatness. He got to work alongside Robert Redford and once again Sidney Poitier in a movie called Sneakers. Kind of a conspiracy, dark, weird movie. I don't know how to feel about it, but I was definitely interested in it, and not my style, not my cup of tea, but great movie and another great performance by River Phoenix. The following year, he worked in a movie called Silent Tongue. He actually ended up getting beaten out that same year by Brad Pitt for another role in a movie, which, you know, young Brad Pitt, he was also starting to make his mark and be on the rise, but, you know, River had done so much. But not only that, I forget to mention, this whole time he's doing all this great acting, he was a musician as well. So it's crazy that he was such a great musician as well. River had a band called Aleka's Attic. They formed in 1987 and they didn't disband until 1992. So you've got that whole stretch, that 5-year stretch, where he's doing all these amazing acting roles. And he's also performing great music. He was performing around the local Los Angeles scene with his band. He could write great and he could play the guitar great. It's just crazy. This guy was pretty much good at everything that he put his mind to. So it was October 30th of 1993. River Phoenix was heading to downtown Hollywood to a little club called the Viper Room. He was going there with his girlfriend at the time, Samantha Mathis, his brother Joaquin, and his sister Rain. He was going down there to perform with a new band he had formed that went by the name P. Now, P had a few little musicians in it. You might know their names. 2 of them were Flea and John Frusciante from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Don't know if you know them. A man by the name of Gibby Haynes, who performed with the Butthole Surfers. And another one by the name of Al Jurgensen, who was a part of the band Ministry. And also in the group was Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp at that time was also the owner of the Viper Club. So on that night at the Viper Club, the band was performing on stage. As reports go, he tapped a man named Bob Forrest on the shoulder to excuse himself. He said he didn't feel well. He ended up leaving the stage and would end up going outside. It was at that time he would fall on the sidewalk and start convulsing and having seizures. People outside knew what was going on, and the word started to spread around the club. And as it did, reports say Flea ran from the stage to go outside, along with his brother Joaquin and his sister Rain. His sister Rain started to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and trying to help him. His brother Joaquin ended up going to a really close payphone calling an ambulance. By the time the ambulance arrived, they say River was still alive. They put him in the ambulance, and reports also say that Flea got on the ambulance with him as they took him to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in downtown Los Angeles. They tried and tried to resuscitate River, but at 1:51 a.m. on October 31st, 1993, River Phoenix was pronounced dead at the age of 23. The loss of River Phoenix was devastating to the world and to Hollywood. They had lost a young star that was full of potential. He had done so many amazing things up to that point. It sucks. It really sucks that we'll never get to see another great performance out of him. But I'll tell you what, that's why the game we played at the beginning, the word game, Joaquin is definitely the first thing you think of when you think of the Phoenix last name. And it's because he's done so much great work since his brother's passing. So much great work that some actors, that could make half of that work can make their career. He's done so much great work, and much respect to Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's one of the greatest actors of our generation, and he will go down in history as one of the best to ever do it. Now, the loss of River is just another example of great young Hollywood talent living fast and dying young. It's unfortunate, and it really sucks because I think River could have done a lot of amazing things, but you know what? In memory of River Phoenix, let's like this video, let's subscribe to the channel so we can tell more stories. There's tons of great stories out there of people that have done amazing things and followed their dreams to the point of amazing success. And that's what can happen to any of us. Any of you out there watching this, you can reach that success if you just put your foot down, look forward, and walk straight. Don't look back, don't make excuses. Fight through the tough times to get to the good. Anybody can do it. But anyway, this is in honor of River Phoenix. And I want to thank everybody for watching. And remember, go out there and follow your dreams. Whatever you want to do, whatever it is, you can do it. I believe in you. Go out there and get it done. And always remember, on this channel, you know what we do, right? We dream big. Thank you, everybody. Until next time.